Hi everyone, I'm Azure and this is Aussie, and today we're going to talk about how you can overcome any beliefs that you are not smart, or if you actually believe that you're stupid. And I know what some of you are thinking, but Azure, I have a lot of really deep-seated things around this. I was told very directly that I was stupid, and I understand. That was my life too. So stick around. We're going to go through how you can undo this. So if you're new here, I'm Azure, also known as the Fairy Coach Mother. I help survivors become overcomers through belief in magic and other coaching techniques. And if you're looking for advice from someone who's walked the journey and can hopefully help you save years of your life and thousands of dollars, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help you fast track your healing so you can live a happy adulthood, even if you had a crappy childhood. So if that sounds good and you like that vibe, please like and subscribe. All right, so let me tell you my story with beliefs of being stupid. So growing up, that was my first name at home, basically. Um, I was referred to as that by my father more often than my first name. And so I really believed that I was stupid. And even when I was in, so I became a very like average student because it was sort of like, what's the point of trying? Because I'm just what I am. And on top of that, I was very distracted in class because of what was going on at home. So, I just was kind of daydreaming a lot or tired, and that type of thing. So, it was, um, I wasn't an exceptional student or anything. So I didn't get the message that I was smart at school, and I certainly didn't get the message that I was smart at home. And being, feeling that I was stupid was honestly a very, very sensitive spot for me because it was a big part of the abuse that I experienced. And so what happened for me is around middle school, there was a science fair, and my dad, who was an engineer, took a big interest. Like it was, you know, uh, me doing well in science fair would reflect better on him. So we did the science fair project, and I did well. And it was like, oh, okay, if I excel in school, then I will maybe earn his respect or love. And that was all I coveted. Like I wasn't sure if I could ever earn his love, but I at least wanted to earn his respect. And so I did all the AP classes. Uh, applied to competitive universities. I ended up majoring in something, like a challenging major, and all, with the idea of earning his respect. And and then after school, I was like, okay, I'm gonna, make director by the time I'm 30. Like I was just very driven. But it was all really because I wanted to earn my dad's respect. And uh, spoiler alert, it never happened actually. My dad and I had, when you have an abusive relationship, it stays an abusive relationship, and so um, he was that way until he passed away. But what started me questioning whether or not I was in fact stupid was I had a job, and um, after, a couple jobs after college, and I would have the CEO. Um, oh, he's anxious to get down. But there's coyotes around, so I can't let him down. So at this job, I was in a situation where the CEO and the new leadership team, we would be getting together because there were a lot of things to fix at this company. And they would ask my advice. And take my advice. And I was so puzzled because I was like, but I'm stupid. Why would they take my advice if I'm stupid? Why would they even ask my advice if I'm stupid? Um, and these were people who I respected. And so I started kind of questioning, like, well, maybe I'm not that stupid if they're asking my advice about this. Is that possible that I'm actually not stupid? And so it kind of just planted the seed of doubt of this belief that I had been raised with my whole life. I mean, for me, it was like, I am stupid. Like, it was a certainty. And it was a tender spot, but it was a certainty. And so when there was this, you know, a seed planted of another thought, I was like, wow, that's really interesting. What if I'm not? What if my dad was wrong about this? And then it just kind of grew and grew as I started to try to notice things of like, well, maybe I couldn't have done as well in school or something if I was stupid, or, just started looking for evidence. And now I can say with certainty, like, I know that I'm not stupid. In fact, I know that I'm actually pretty smart. And I don't say that in a conceited way. It's an accurate assessment. But it took me such a long time to get there. And I think, oh my gosh, if I had been young and been able to actually believe that I was smart, oh my gosh, how much further I could have gone in so many other areas of my life, how much that belief held me back. So let's try to get through how we can apply this to you. So here, I'm a big, like, I like to do truth and dare in my coaching. So here's your truth. Um, Instead of waiting for that, like, what if, or like, what if I'm not stupid? Let's try to create that right here and right now. Okay, so like, what areas do you actually excel in? Everyone has something, right? Like, maybe you're really good in like physical things. Maybe you're really artistic, maybe you're very good with interpersonal skills. Maybe you're really good like mechanically, or spatial reasoning or computer stuff. I don't know, like media sales. I mean, there's some area that you excel in. So what is that? And if you struggle to identify even that, what have other people complimented you on, or what do other people like seek out your advice on? Like, for me, have always been the person that people would come to for advice, like interpersonal kinds of things. Like, if someone's going through a hard time, I'm one of the first people that they would call. Um, and yet I never registered that as like, oh, maybe I'm good at this and maybe I could have a career in psychology or coaching or something like that. It wasn't until much later with like a million data points that I started actually like stop second guessing myself and started actually pursuing it. So what area do you actually excel in? And what area do you get validation around? And even if you're not the very, very, very best, like, what is an accurate statement? Like, the truth is that you're not, like, stupid or knowledgeless about it. The truth might be like, hey, like, I'm above average. Maybe I'm not the very best, but I'm above average. And maybe other areas, it's like, I'm not particularly great at this. And like, I was really bad in biochemistry, for example. That's not my jam, but this type of stuff, oh my God, I could think about this, talk about this all day long. So like, this is what I'm interested in. I think I'm also, good at it. And so you just like try to figure out what is it. And then the dare is when you find yourself, like, if you have a critical negative voice, so like you do something, if you're anything like me, it's like, God, idiot, like, or, talking badly about yourself, you stop, and then say out loud, not just in your head, but like say out loud, delete or backspace or strike that, or, some kind of term of like undoing it, and then replace it with four statements about how you made a mistake, but that you are competent, you are smart, and stuff like that. because the reason for four is because four is the number of love. And if you're kind of trying to overcome like a hateful word, you replace it with four positive things, and then put that out there, put that into the universe, and it will eventually, over time, just keep doing that, and it will seep into your psyche. So I hope that helps. If any of you have a personal challenge you're trying to overcome, especially as it relates to overcoming childhood trauma, please reach out. You can make it could be anonymous if you'd like. And if any of you are interested in getting a personal take one-on-one, I offer that to a complimentary session so that we can see if we're a good fit and if I can help you and everything. So, I'm hoping that you the very best in your healing journey, and talk to you soon.